All right, and we are live. Hello, Carmela.
Good morning. Hi.
Good morning, good afternoon. In
Good
here.
afternoon to you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start from here. Where are you right now?
I'm in Houston, Texas, so it's 6 a.m. and
Mhm.
I hope I can get everything together. I'm sure I'm not my always sparkly self, but we'll try.
You're a morning person, right?
No,
No, no, it's
I
true.
try to be, but it's definitely not working.
It's all about a bit of a, time, and then you get.
Attitude, yes.
Yeah, attitude too. Yes, of course, of course. Yeah. So, welcome, guys, to our eighth episode of She Leads. We are happy to welcome here you, Natalia and Carmela. We are super excited to our new guest today. It's Andreea Judele, and we would be happy to, of course, invite her as well. While I'm gonna invite her, please write in the comments where are you coming from, what's the weather like, and we would be happy to welcome you here. So just hold on here, and here we are. Hi, Andrea.
Hello, hello. Thank you for
Hi.
inviting me.
Yeah, yeah, super happy to have you. Yeah, finally made it. I convinced you. I'm happy for this. Yeah, and how are you today? Where are you?
I'm good. I'm good in the Netherlands. Raining, but yeah, this is usual. So nothing new.
Yeah, actually, it's also raining. But before in Prague, for the whole week, it was snowing so hard. It was like meters and meters of snow, and I stopped using the car for some time. Huh? Yeah, thanks God I changed the tires because many people, maybe if you recall that I didn't change the tires for some time, but then I did them, but still it didn't help because parking is absolutely was devastating. Yeah, but now it's it. That's it. There's a rain, it goes away, but and the snow goes away. Yeah. So we would like to start. We have a first comment here. Hello, Sabina. Hi, everyone from Uzbekistan. So, Uzbekistan, cool. What's the weather like? I would like to know. I think it should be sunny as usual. So, Andrea, first question to you. Before we start in getting into a topic deeper, I would like to know your story. Maybe share a little bit about like how did you even get into the master data management?
Actually, we were talking last night over a dinner on how which moments we had in life, which got us to where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for me, the first one which I would like to share is the fact that I studied linguistics,
Mm-hmm.
which helps a lot in my data career because you need a lot of structure. You need to I don't know, to assess the data quality still. So a lot of the learnings I got in the university or in the practice regarding linguistics are helping me now as well. That's the
Mm-hmm.
first. Secondly, yeah, this is how I transitioned. Actually, I got hired as a translator in a company, and then I applied for a data role in
Mm-hmm.
master data. And since then, I misuse the translation tool in order to help me to improve the data quality. So the transition between translations and data took quite some time. And I think for 10 years now, I'm in master data in various functions, currently establishing strategies for data quality for adhesives material master data at Henkel. So this is my background.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's fantastic.
yeah,
Sorry.
what were the main challenges you had to face during this transition? And do you miss something from your time as a translator?
Mm, in this role, I have the freedom which I had as well as a translator, and also I'm working with various regions as well, like I had when I was a translator as well. So I can't say I miss it. I think that it's more as yeah, the obvious step, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of challenges, of course, you have the data challenges which keep you awake and very on top of things. So um, yeah, these are the
Yeah.
challenges, I would say.
Thank you. So, Sabina has responded to us. Unfortunately, today is gray and gloomy weather. Well, it happens very rarely, so it's okay, Sabina. You will survive. We have also here more people coming from Germany, Berlin specifically. So, which welcome. Happy to have you here. So cloudy today and dry. So we have also Spanish people. Ruben here is coming from actually Sweden as well. Karima, hello, Karima. So you remember you should come to this podcast. So I'm still waiting. I would like to ask you before I go and jump into the question. Do you like the setup like that, or do you prefer like? Just give me a second. Here, like this. What do you prefer?
Yes.
And it was clear. We go ahead. Yeah. So, what languages do you speak? Actually, that's a question as well.
So I'm native Romanian. Then
Yeah.
I studied French, then English, then Spanish, then Dutch. And a few years ago, I started learning in the car German with audio. By the way, there are really cool classes on audio lessons, but I didn't practice a lot of German, so I can listen, I can understand. But when it comes to speaking, it's most of the time it's a no-go.
Jesus, I was like, and then I was like, it's gonna be, and then languages. So, well, amazing. I love it, especially the person like I do speak 4 languages, and for me, hearing like when you speak more than 3 is already impressive. I don't know. It's like also with coming from Romanian, so it's Latin, right? Language, family language. So French bit should be quite easy, not really easy, and you know what I mean, right? So but it will be less difficult, but Dutch is like completely different thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and Dutch is also difficult and pronunciation, honestly.
With English is natural, and then with Dutch you get stuck, and but once you get after the understanding of the then everything
that magic, yeah. Yeah.
What do you
So
enjoy about learning a new language?
what do I enjoy about learning?
Yeah.
what do you enjoy?
I think it's so it came with age. Depends on with French I was really young, and English came naturally because you would hear English everywhere. Spanish you would have a lot of telenovelas, and everyone. I mean, there is someone from Spain, but I have some lines from the telenovelas which are stuck with me. And with Dutch, the motivation was that yes, I arrived here and I had the kids. They were entering the school environment, so I needed to learn as fast as possible to understand what's happening and also to be integrated as fast as possible. So this was the motivation. With German, it was a fun motivation. I wanted to understand the jokes which my German colleagues were having.
Yeah.
So every language has its own motivational history.
And why not Italian, by the way? I think that's quite close to your language, native language. Or
I
you
understand Italian very well,
Uh-huh.
but when it comes to speaking it, not yet. I said first I should become more proficient, or I should be okay with German, and then afterwards we go to Italian. So Italian is also on my list, but not yet.
Yeah, I mean French, Spanish, Romanian, so it's like good to go with Italian. But it's a big mix then afterwards. I heard that when you learn Italian, switch to Spanish, you mix up all the time the 2 languages between if you're not a native one of
It
those. Yeah.
might be. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember from many years ago, I worked with some in the medical kind of industry, you know. So there was a lot of Armenian actually doctors. I talked to them, and I didn't know Armenian. I didn't speak some of them in English, so I started to switch to Italian. So I spoke Italian. They spoke to me Armenian, and then all of a sudden we were like, "Da," and I'm like, "What? Like, why?" You know, it's like very close to Italian, but the word that you say "da" is like comes complete mix, you know, of
Yeah.
language. It's very interesting, I have to say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good. So moving on a little bit also to the topic of our conversation. Yeah. So obviously talking to the different languages, I believe that it's also one of those skills of the extroverts, right? You said it yourself at a couple of times when we met as well, that you are quite an extroverted person. So how does it really help? What do you think when it comes to the data management?
I think it helps a lot. I mean, it depends also on the role, definitely. But I think it helps a lot on when it comes to the need to create communities. and to speak with each other. And in a lot of gatherings, conferences, one of the takeaway is always it's not about the data, it's about the people. It's not about which processes we automate, it's about change management, it's about communication. So I think it helps, but I think it needs to be always a mixture between all of this communication part and the extrovert part, and the zoom in a certain process, understand it, and then afterwards you can speak about what you want. Because when you start being extrovert and you start making only jokes which are outside of the data world, no one will take you seriously.
Okay, interesting.
point.
Yeah, actually, interesting point. Yeah. Do you want to go deeper, Carmela, into this, or we move on? This another question.
No, we can move on, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I can feel like 6 a.m. doesn't work well for you.
Okay. Back me up here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what's the most important success factor of any data governance initiatives and why. Yeah, very big switch right now.
Oh, that's a very big switch indeed. Indeed. I think for data governance, I think the biggest success is to have the owners with the right experience and knowledge, and to also have this org of data governance applied for all of the data domains, but also for all of the rest of the complexity. And in my opinion, data governance organizations can only function well, so to have success stories, if we eliminate the complexities in the process, which is not having anything to do with data necessarily. So we discuss data governance, we discuss data quality, we discuss how to make it better. But actually, if everything would come first time right, already good from the other processes, I don't think we would need to discuss so much data governance and data quality.
Yeah.
And data governance always has to do a lot with data ownership as well. And this requires, of course, the implementation of a very clear authorization system. In your experience, what are the biggest mistakes project leaders can make when defining those rules, roles, and user rights?
What I'm seeing is if we can't sustain this with practice, and if we can't sustain this with all data areas, as I'm mentioning, data governance organizations or setups are not going to function. We can have something which is very well on paper, and especially in processes, and especially with data governance. You know, you set up an owner, the owner is giving the sign off, the steward is actually supporting all of these initiatives, and then the data quality starts, and then it's done. And then you see that actually the owner doesn't know what he's owning. And then you see that there are fields which are with double ownership, or you get into other details and you see there is an owner for a certain region, but you don't have the counterpart for the rest of the regions. Or like we are discussing now internally, you have a certain ownership which is good for analytical data, but maybe we need to review it for the master data. So all of these questions need to be already aligned so that the data governance is actually working. And we are currently working also on an initiative which actually joins, and it's exactly what I also did in the adhesives material master data. You can start with data governance to discuss, but in order to promote the importance of data, you rely a lot on data literacy and on all of the data culture programs. And then you need to come with results which are supporting your initiatives. And the results are coming from data quality cleaning, data quality rules, and all of these projects which are very close to the operational part.
Yeah.
I can imagine that it's very, very difficult to really define everything from the beginning, because so many things are just coming up along the way. So it has to be very dynamic, I can imagine.
I think you need to always start small, because if we look at from top down, if we look at the complexity already, you won't be able to deliver anything. But then if you have one success here, then you're saying, okay, let's try and replicate this part or this framework also in another area. And with the lessons learned from the first one, the second one will be better, and so on.
Yeah, we have also a comment here from Karima about what we are talking about here. So I think a good point. Yeah, I won't read it because it's way too long. I mean, I like to see that. So that's the second one afterwards as well, like to what we are speaking about. I also would like to welcome more people. Luke actually is here. Yeah, he was with us at the previous event. So it was really good. So welcome, guys. Don't forget to also, we are here to take questions from the audience. Feel free. So I'm really appreciate that Karima is also commenting on it, so I know what is going on at least there in the chat. So do feel free to ask questions, because we will get deeper into the topic, as well. So we only be happy to go spontaneous here, So moving on about, like your role, current role. So it's a global data quality manager. Can you tell me a little bit about what's the role of culture when it comes to change management?
So my current role, as I mentioned, global data quality, and responsible to establish a strategy across all of the regions for data quality. I have to admit that when I started, I was only looking at the data quality part. So, okay, we dashboards, rules for everything, and maybe alignment. And from the beginning, I saw the need to start sharing what people were doing already, to start communicating with everyone. So it was mandatory before data quality strategy, let's say. It was mandatory for me to raise the awareness around data.
Yeah.
I would say it's very important, as long again as it's close to what the people are doing. So we are doing adhesives material master data. If I start communicating to our audiences that data is very important, and by the way, all of these general remarks, I wouldn't have the community which I'm having. They need to know when a material description needs to be changed, when the dimensions are incorrect, etc. So very practical. And this is my advice regarding data culture, is to make it as practical as possible for your audience, because otherwise you will lose them. And we have various types. So when it comes to the data culture program here, I invested a lot of time, but also we discussed extrovert. So here, a whole new world, you get to implement all kinds of ideas, and your creativity is put into place. But data culture needs to support the practical tasks as well.
Sure.
This has
sorry.
No problem. So this sounds that it has a lot to do also with communication. And talking data, of course, oftentimes means to speak a very, very distinct language. So even if you're talking to people and use their vocabulary, it's still a very complex thing to do. And oftentimes, of course, company-specific, team-specific language. And I think it's especially challenging that not everyone in the same company is speaking the same language at that. So do your translation skills come in handy to tackle these challenges as well?
I mean, it's kind of a joke, because you have all of the languages, but I'm not speaking necessarily the languages themselves, but you need to adapt. So you have the person who's creating the data. They know that they are creating the data, but they don't know what is happening after them. So you need to tell them the impact. And then afterwards, you have the data analytics world, right? Where you have all of the if, then, else, and all of these rules and SQLs and so on. And you need to translate all of those rules to people who have no idea what the data is about. So I think that this role is about translations, but not in the actual translation of the word, or in the actual meaning of the word translations. You
Mhm.
just to make people understand what you mean and what's the impact of the data. In very rare cases, I had these requests maybe to discuss in a certain language.
Mhm.
And this is, I mean, now we are supported with all kinds of automated translations. So this is not an issue. I don't think the language itself is a barrier. I think it's more the understanding of the impact of the data, which is a barrier.
Mhm.
Of course, in the data culture, the culture itself is a barrier. So it's not the culture of the data, but the culture itself, which is coming from the complexity of working with all of the regions.
Mhm. We have a question here from Karima. Are you focusing on working on few master data, or is your area for every master data in the organization?
No, so it's material master data under adhesives. Yeah, it's this is the part we are discussing closely with. I'm sorry, my laptop just closed, so I was just looking at your question here. So material master data, we are in contact with how customer master data is doing it. Henkel is organized in adhesives and consumer brands. So we also have counterparts from consumer brands with whom we are discussing how do you do data governance, how I do data culture. Yeah, it's a very complex, I would say, very complex organization.
We have another one also from Karima. How have you actually defined which master data to start with, or was it something in place when you started and you built on it? I think it comes to Henkel position. Yeah.
It was something in place, so I'm very happy because I have what was the saying that on my shoulder there are the signs of the giants before me, something like that. So my manager actually set up the organization across the regions. He was responsible for Europe, and in Europe he already saw the need of data quality. And he also developed a certain data quality rules environment. And then I picked it up from there. So across the other regions, we needed to implement and we needed to align, and we are still aligning. We are discussing with some data owners, but they are not signed off. So it's the fact that we are assigning them as data owners. But it's a very long, very interesting journey, and in a whole sum, it's also very motivating to see where we started, where we are going.
Thank you for sharing. We have one more, like, I assume it's to you as well. Like, I guess you're applying a dedicated MDM solution. Can you reveal which exactly?
So it depends on for data creation, for instance, we have a solution. For data quality tool, we didn't have so far a solution, and we are going to implement one only this year. But until implementing, we established a temporary solution, let's say, to see what are the trends, who's requesting which data, what is happening in the systems, in the processing part. So and this helped me a lot on seeing the user's journey outside of master data. Why do they want to change something? Is it urgent? Is it business critical? Is it having an impact internally, externally? And this is how we are, let's say, ready to implement a data quality tool. Actually, this is one of the advices as well, or lessons learned from me. When you start implementing a data quality tool, it would be good if you would have also a temporary solution so that you can trial and error without paying consultants and implementing a tool which afterwards you realize is not suitable for the needs, or investigating while the project is already active.
Oh, guys, take it. I mean,
point,
look at that. An amazing feedback here, and super practical feedback from Andreea. Look at that, the best, just the best. So we continue. We have one more, I think. Yeah, are these dedicated data stewards? How much time can they allocate to this task?
So this is ongoing discussions. If you're asking data stewards in the business area, like I mentioned, we assign them. So we see, okay, for instance, we know that dimensions are something which packaging is doing, and then we start discussing with packaging. This is one of the pain points. They are not officially assigned. They don't have them. I don't have the mandate to tell them this is your target for this year. And they don't have it as a priority. So how much time can they allocate to this task? Yeah, it depends. It depends also on the stakeholder management, but we are working a lot now to actually set something in place officially, where we can also have a group which is known by everyone. These are the data owners. This is what needs to be done in the from the data stewards, and these are the deliverables.
Thank you so much
Great.
for sharing with us. I think I would like to ask also a question, since we are getting into a practicalities of it, and again, back to change management. So how can you link internal communication activities to change management, and some maybe share best practices of it?
Ooh, that's a lot. So
We have time.
I really like this topic, and so we are unique, definitely. I still like reading books, whereas my kids don't.
Yeah.
They like shorts, and it's another generation. You have the Instagrams and the Reels.
Yeah.
Then you have other generations where you need to have the official trainings and the official platforms. You have these other, you have people leaving, and people being retired, or resigning, moving to other roles. So I put all of this into practice when I started working on this data culture package. I started with a newsletter, which is very dear to my heart, because it's containing everything from people to tech to processes to projects, just to make sure that we communicate something to our audience. Then it slowly changed to we have certain topics which we are communicating more to the business in general, but to a more friendly way. I was discussing about translations of the data quality rules to the business.
Mhm.
We do once per year something which we call the Master Data Roadshows. So we travel virtually in all of the regions, where we explain to the people, this is what we do, this is what data is about, and also with success stories, but also with lessons learned. We do a lot of shorts. We were discussing about Reels. So we have these 2 minutes information, which we are cascading to people, and we are telling them, okay, this is what's happening with us. Yeah, a lot. So I'm just wondering now, and this is what's happening internally. So newsletters, we call data snacks. We also have a sort of community which is built around data quality, where we're welcoming anyone from the business to just address a question. We detail the question. We are recording all of this, and based on this, we are also having these official trainings, non-official trainings, quizzes as well. So on the fun side.
Cool. Well, you're an extroverted person, so I suppose it's necessary to do that. So it's the same concept that we do with our Think Labs, right? So when the people come there, we need to wake up. It's time to work now. It's time to engage.
Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, also coming to that, in the connecting to what you say, that you have quite a big number of people that are involved in the data space, right? That the team is global, and it's a huge company as well. So you have your own kind of community, you said, right? Which is super important, of course. So tell us a little bit more about your Henkel days that happens annually.
Yeah.
Isn't it you who actually started and founded?
Yes, I did, and this one, I think it's the project which is closest to me. So it started actually based on a personal need. When I left the previous company, we were a group of very good friends, and we all left to different companies, and we were meeting once per month for dinners, and we would start asking, so how is your organization looking like, and which data are you doing, and in which systems are you working? And at one point, we were also meeting with our families, and we would realize that we would actually create a group outside of our families just to discuss about data.
Right.
And I said, maybe we can do something more officially, maybe I can invite you to Henkel over a coffee or one day and we can discuss. And this is how it started. And while I was thinking about them, I was thinking, okay, I have also some other people I would like to join. And I also, maybe I would also want the stakeholders to invite the stakeholders so that they can also see what we are doing.
Yeah.
And the first day was with 45 people.
Yeah.
We said, okay, let's extend. Next time we said maybe we should invite more, because the request was to invite more people. So this is the third year when we will have our maximum, which is 120. We don't want to go beyond that, because we would still like to keep a close connection and to have the community feeling.
Spot for me.
So usually it's half. We have people from Henkel participating, and then afterwards we also have a lot of data experts. I'm very happy to say that from one year to another year, we realized that, we already, with some of us, we know each other and we know what the projects are looking like. MDM Days also, let's say, has a smaller child now, because out of MDM Days, we have once in 3 months a live gathering to a certain company which is participating to MDM Days. And we discuss their practical details. So no presentation, no fancy slides, nothing. We just start sharing an Excel file or a presentation to the CEO or something. And we use that very small group of maximum 20 people to review it, to give feedback. We know that everything is confidential. It doesn't leave the room. We even had people who were bluntly honest, and we had to adjust to the feedback or to the news which they were giving us. But I think it's very good. We also have a group on LinkedIn, and we also have a group on WhatsApp, to be honest. So
to a different level. Look at that.
Sometimes we are chatting like, "Hey guys, by the way, what do you do when you don't get any news from I don't know which data owner? What do you do when you have this?" So very.
But isn't it very important, right? So you said it yourself. You started when the community inside internally, and then you understand that it's also important to involve externally, right? People. So isn't it important to actually think out of box? I'm just thinking here to open a little bit of a discussion on this topic, as I talk a lot to the data people, and they are all different as people. So some of them get the idea, okay, so you need to come to the conference, summit, or anything like a workshop training to meet the people that are not particularly working together with you, but actually working in a different company. So some of them stay in the same kind of team and we just talk between each other. But how crucial is that, obviously, to go there out and to different networking events, obviously, to see other people, how they handle. What do you think, Andreea? You've been in many conferences now. What do you say?
I think very crucial. I think there is one topic which is not necessarily bothering me, but you see that the topics are repetitive. We don't have the time to implement everything so that we can give updates next time. Oh, by the way, I did all of this.
Yeah.
But we are slowly moving there. So I think 7 years ago, when I would go to these conferences, we were discussing about these large teams, the large Excel files, the extra time just to create a material or a product. Now we see that we started slowly implementing the learnings had from all of these events, and maybe also from how life is pushing us with AI and with agentic AI. But I realize there is a difference. However, when you join a lot of the conferences, you see the themes are the same. We are all talking about data governance, quality, material creation, acquisitions, divestments, data culture. So the topics are the same, but I think it's very critical for us to get to learn. And this is also so MDM Day started from a personal reason. But the advantages for MDM Days is, first of all, I don't know about any company in Europe which is hosting this and is accommodating all of these conferences costs, let's say, just to say, you know what, just come to us, you can learn from each other. We are not sponsored by vendors, by anything. So this is one of the good things. And of course, the other good thing is the fact that our people get to also see such a conference, and they get to also learn, to also ask questions. So it's a lot about upskilling as well, and a lot about even having different discussions with consultants without having an obligation to do something about it, or official invitations, let's say. But the answer is still very critical to join these conferences.
Yeah, absolutely. We, Ulrich, I think the best, to be honest, to respond to that question is to just send the link, and so you can learn about it, about the Henkel Days, of course. So the concept that we will be probably after the call, after the interview, we will write it. And also, Ulrich, actually, you know the Think Lab for sure. I hope one day you will make it finally to come to us in Prague. I will also share, and I don't know if Sabina and my colleague who is watching or not watching, if she's watching, please put the link about the Think Lab. But in April, we also will gather together. So that's already a Think Linkers event, and actually Andreea will be part of it, right, Andreea? yeah. We will see. Because hopefully no obstacles will happen. No roadshow. Yeah. But you've been with us actually, what was it, 2 years ago, I would say?
I think it was 2 years ago. You have one of the good communities, or you're putting together one of the good communities. And to just share a story, Natalia was, I don't know, once, it was that day in 10 years when Natalia was sick.
It was just 10 years. And it lasted 10 years. Go.
And it was really, really nice to see how the people who attended there, they were asking, okay, where's Natalia? Oh, if Natalia would have been there. So this is for you, Natalia, that you bring such a high impact, even though you're thinking this is business as usual for me. Once you miss or once you leave the room, people start talking about you in a good way. That's a very good sign.
Yeah, well, just to open the parenthesis here, it was like one time, guys, in 10 years, I got sick. So, and it was 3 days event. And then the second day I said, I can't make it. And believe me, I've tried everything in order to come, but I couldn't. And I came on the third day. And I remember in the morning, Andreea, that one of those people, like from the participants, said, oh my God, thanks God, Natalia, you're back. And I'm like, okay, what's the problem? I'm like, yeah, but you this kind of I don't know, like discipline or something. We know where we're going. And I'm like, okay, that's good to know that I am an important, apparently, person in the data space. Yeah.
And we were discussing about skills. And on my WhatsApp, my profile picture says a smile is the same in all of the languages. I think it's very important, especially in all of these data initiatives, to have the good mood and the thick skin, let's say, to still be resilient, even if it's not working today, it's not working tomorrow. But for you to believe that there will be sometime a day when it all will be working, because you have the responsibility to also communicate it across communities, across regions. Yeah. And if you're not believing in your ideas, then forget about the rest to believe in your idea.
So here, just to see what's going on, we have Ulrich, who is, of course, thank me for the reminder. Yes, I will remind you as much as I reminded to Andreea to come to us the first time. So when we have Sabina actually is listening to me, thank you, so happy. She shared with us the link about the link with the Henkel Days later on. We will definitely do it as well. We have more questions, and let me just check. So yes, we took, okay, we have a question here. Yeah, why not? Of course, AI. So why not to take that question? We always get into AI. We don't even put it in the title because it's always going to be there in the questions.
I mean, you have all of these data topics, so of course
Absolutely.
it will go over there. So do you find that organizations expect to implement AI embedded in their processes and have it run smoothly without putting strong data controls in place? It depends on the organization level. I think the higher you go, the less understanding or the less knowledge will be that we would need data quality for it. In some of the organization, I think the coin starts falling to the right direction. I think from our side, the people who are working with data, we know that this is not going to work. You put garbage in, garbage out, right? So this is the rule. We actually had a test on rule mining, and we saw with the current data that we can't do any rule mining because the rules were, it was costing us more time to review the rules than to create a proper data quality rule. But it depends on the level. It depends on how much awareness they have on data. And I'm very lucky that currently, like I mentioned, within Henkel, it's very much interest. And yeah, there is already this mindset that if we don't have data quality, if we don't have data governance, forget about AI data ready future.
That's actually a really good point. And you also mentioned some time before that it's important to also monitor and measure data quality and to at some point implement even a solution for that. So what are the actual KPIs you can measure, and what did you observe at Henkel? What improved over time with these initiatives?
On the data quality you're asking, and not
Yes.
on across. Because the first thing which improved, I would say definitely the data awareness. I had a project which was thanks to my manager again, because he's keeping me busy. When I'm not busy with marketing titles, he's busy. So I had a project which was called Close the Door, Clean the Floor. And the idea was that you can't do data quality without limiting the authorizations first. We can't make sure that we will always check and correct the data. We need first to limit the authorizations and to close the door to our house, and then afterwards start cleaning the floors and start cleaning everything. I think the KPIs, okay, we have data quality rules on accuracy, on completeness, on correctness. So we go after the data dimensions, the standard data dimensions. In my opinion, first of all, we can't say that we are measuring the correct topics because, like I mentioned, we don't have signed off data owners. We don't have anyone who's telling us, this is what I need for the data which I'm accountable for. This is correct, this is incorrect. So we started with some trends, we started with some data quality rules, and we started also seeing, okay, maybe I have 100 data quality rules for Europe, but I have 0 for EMEA, and I have 50 for Americas. So from this point of view, we started looking on maybe an alignment, maybe communications here and there. We are checking some inconsistencies. We are looking for performance when it comes to how many changes we do, who's making the changes, automating those changes, so decreasing also or respecting the SLAs. But if you're asking me KPIs to measure, first of all, no one is saying what do we need to measure in terms of ownership. Second of all, we didn't have and we don't have yet a tool which is helping us to measure everything. So currently we are taking here and there. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Mine is the same in every language, right?
Absolutely. And I think it also makes sense in terms of data because data is changing like every day, and also with AI, of course. So data quality now is not the data quality you need for tomorrow. So I think that's a good approach. Take it
And
step by
definitely
step.
not the data quality which we needed, because maybe 10 years ago it was enough to say we are exporting something and we see the data. even for the reporting, even when you're seeing the visuals, it's not what you needed 10 years ago. You need more dynamic, you need to have these interactive explanations, you need to see more, to have more visuals which are friendly. So we also changed.
Getting back to this as well, to the data, how it's changing so fast. What's your favorite way of explaining what is data? You remember, like, it was data is a new oil, and then data is data. So what's your way of saying what is data for you?
This is interesting. I have one of my closest friends. We know each other since we were 4 years old, and she's telling me every time, we know each other for such a long time, and I still don't understand why you're being paid. So
I actually feel you, Andrea. I feel you, because my mom still doesn't get, like, for 10 years, what am I doing and what is data, like, management, and when I try to explain, people like, okay, so IT, and I'm like, yeah, here we go again.
Yeah, exactly. So she has this joke from Friends, from the Friends TV show, where Chandler is Chandler's job is
the data processor.
Yeah.
And she's saying, "Oh yeah, you're one of those transporters. No one, that's not even a word, So, I made a lot of analogies regarding master data. So I think 2 years ago, I was saying that master data is like an orchestra, and it's the conductor. Master data management is the conductor. You have all kinds of functions. It's not your data when it's incorrect. It's the data owner's data. But you are identifying, because you have this helicopter view and you see where it is moving. So that was with the orchestra. Another analogy which I had last year during the MDM days as well. We always say data quality is wrong or data quality is good, but do we know exactly what we mean? So I had chocolate chip cookies, but half of them were having less sugar and more salt. And I was saying that the result is the same. But if you're not looking for the ingredients, if you're not looking for the measurements, what is correct, if you're not respecting your recipe, the outcome, you will suffer the outcome once you will taste the cookie, right? So this is data quality. To be honest, in the very beginning, when I started with MDM days, the presentation was that it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village also for data. I can't say that data is the new oil or is the DNA or something like that. But I think it's something like the air, you have it, you can't see it. But when it's actually a burning sense or something like that, then that's when you realize, and I don't know. This
So
is my
data is data is data. It would be the most right way of saying it, right? Because for you, it is.
Yeah, I never thought about it, to be
Yeah.
honest. But I hear a lot: data is gold, data is the
Yeah.
data
As
is,
an asset, and so
data
on.
is the king.
I actually like very much the child picture, because the child picture is really cool, because it's something like maybe it's a very difficult child making a lot of troubles, and it's a very, very complex co-parenting task. That's a cool analogy.
I haven't heard that. Who said?
I think she
Andrea.
refers to it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. That's you. You just came up with something new now.
Yeah.
So data is a new child. Well,
I don't know. Is it the new child? It's but I'm tempted not to put it in such a comparison, because afterwards I feel that the people are stuck to an idea, and this is where they need to go, and that's about it. I have a colleague who's saying, actually, and I really like this comparison, that data is like the blood. It runs through the veins. When it's clean and it's fine, then you're healthy. But when it's not, then that's when you need to worry. And it's also about quality of life, which you need to take care of. So
Data
this
is
is
water,
another very good
for instance.
comparison.
Data is
Yeah.
water. That's what Najim was saying. Then we were at the event, I remember. So same kind of a concept, basically, of blood. So we have more questions here.
Oh, I like your question, Ulrich. Ulrich, I think we need to connect some because I also saw a discussion regarding MDM Day. So contact me and I'll be happy to also give you more details and maybe also to invite you as well. MDM, how is it organized at Henkel? So if it's master data management, we are not organized all together. We have material master data, which is under supply chain. We have customer, vendor, which is somewhere else. We have marketing data, etc. This is with adhesives and it sits in the business. With HCB, it sits under IT. And it also depends which area.
Mm-hmm.
Various advantages and disadvantages under the same umbrella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As long as
So, and thank you, by the way, Ulrich, as well, being active today. So I always appreciate people that are actually in the data space asking questions, and I really encourage. So hopefully, if you have more questions, we are absolutely happy to take it. We have also comment while we were talking, and we get into a discussion. Karima also mentioned something about the approach. Yeah. So some analogies in here. And basically, yeah, if you're able to stop, this makes it clean. So set the rules to follow, and yeah. I mean, I think we
also need to know that we are not eating upstairs and the dog is not going inside dirty and so on. So everyone has family rules as well. If not, then I congratulate you if you're not having rules. But in my house, we have rules.
I think it's important in regards to analogies when it comes to data management. I hear more and more, like at our events, for instance, people coming up with something that is easy to kind of translate to the business, side as well. And this is good. Like Karima, you got it. This is good. So when people actually do these comparisons, and I really appreciate it, because if you just talk about data like raw, it's just not the way to go. Yeah. All right. Carmela, do you have some questions?
no.
We are
Nothing left
getting
from my side.
in out, from our kind of questions, which I'm happy that we have more and more people actually asking. It was absolutely amazing discussion so far. If I'm trying to kind of wrap it up, but you still have like your 30 seconds, guys, to ask more questions if you want. We're gonna take it. What was it what you were saying about the language? The next one you will be learning German. You said, yeah, German. Okay. So very good. So you're
Don't
planning.
ask me in 2 years what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Don't ask me wie geht's.
Yeah. No, but still, it's cool. That's a goal. And what are our goals? We just entered the 2026. Is there anything else that personal career wise? What do you want to achieve in 2026?
I think we are more conscious on the basic needs which we have, which are around peace and healthy, or at least maybe I'm trying to be very with my feet on the ground, let's say.
Yeah.
And I think peace, health, that are some luxury topics which we have.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the rest, career-wise, yeah. Very excited about all of these projects which are coming. And someone from my team said this morning that, Andreea, how it feels to work now in quality and in data quality. It feels like something really big will come.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so inspired to hear this. And it gives such a nice feedback that people are already having the feeling that they are contributing to something bigger. And I think, in my opinion, something big will follow. It doesn't, I'm not talking here about career paths or something like that, but trend-wise, I think something big will follow, because we never had the people from master data management, we never had the attention which we are having now, with everyone asking us AI, and can we implement this, and can we have this?
Absolutely.
in my opinion, this is an opportunity which we need to grab because, who knows? I agree it comes with a lot of time spent to explain. We can't implement it today. We first need to review, but
But still, it's a way to go.
Good
It's a journey,
point.
like you said.
it's a journey.
But definitely with a talk of AI, like you said, totally it's a game changer. So now it's at least the conversation about like how important the data is not as trendy topic as it was 10 years ago, right? So I mean, it's still, but it's easier. Yeah. All right. So we are kind of wrapping up, and I think we must thank you, Andrea, for like joining our
Thank you so much.
episode. Super amazing to have you here online. So I hope you enjoyed it.
Really, really nice, really nice. So I really enjoyed it, and I didn't know what to expect. I have to say, as a spoiler, the girls sent me in advance the questions so that I can have a look. I looked for 20 seconds and then I said, let's have the conversation, the natural conversation, just flow. I'm very happy you invited me, and thank you for the work you are doing as well. It's good
Thank
to
you.
put some lights on all of these data aspects. I have to say, I also watched some of your episodes, and I was also thinking, I didn't know about this. So this is like conference pieces on LinkedIn, which is amazing to learn from.
Yeah, it's
Appreciate it.
thank you so much for your feedback. I'm super happy you liked it, and we definitely stay in touch. Is there any sneak peek that you want to say that what you're going to present in April at Think Lab?
Yes, so I was thinking to present what's happening after you're closing the door. And how is life looking like? Because I agree with Karima. You're closing the door also at home. You cleaned your house. By Saturday at 12, everything is spotless. 12:30, everything is a mess again. How life looks like, and also after 3 years of a data culture program, what's in the bag, and how did we measure all of these successes, and what do we do with the lessons learned?
Yeah.
Good.
So I think we should really say that what we have taken from this session, I think a lot of course, things, but mainly we need to definitely not forget about the communication skills and adaptability, Jesus, adaptability, and then of course also create your kind of a community inside of your company. Okay, if you're not alone, if you're alone on this journey, by the way, just join externally. If you're having even 4 people, 5, just do this kind of a like a coffee online or something once a month meet like Andrea did in the past, and definitely start to think out of box and join the Henkel days, join the Pink Lab, and stay in touch. And Andrea, again, thank you so much, and thank you, the audience, for being with us, asking questions. I really appreciate it. So we move on, and Andrea.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. And we are done.